What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So I am joined by Callum, by Oscar and by Ghost. We just did a live stream on the PlayStation Experience event, and what we saw there was Uncharted 4, actually the gameplay reveal. I totally did not see that coming. I thought we would just get like a trailer or something, but yeah, it was actually quite surprising. We got this quite extensive 15-minute gameplay demo. A few things went wrong as well, but nonetheless was very cool. But of course I first want to know from from all of you three what your initial reactions were. So yeah, Oscar, go ahead.
So yeah, pretty much. We knew it was going to be in the first part of the PlayStation Experience kind of keynote thing, because Christoph Ballester pretty much said on Twitter, you make sure to be watching like the beginning of the PlayStation Experience thing, because pretty much Uncharted 4 was going to be. Well, we kind of knew that Uncharted 4 was going to be in those first 10 minutes ish. But yeah, like in terms of like actual like gameplay demo, I just thought it got better and better. Like honestly, it started from like the beginning. Where you had Drake kind of outside looking around the environment, and then you kind of went through the cave. There was kind of lots of jumping mechanics, and then there was you kind of moved through. There was lots of jumping stuff, and then he found like the kind of journal thing, and picked it off like a skeleton. Went through, etc. Lots of stuff happened between there. He was kind of jumping up walls. And then there was kind of the moment where you knew there was going to be a bit of a shootout, and you get to see them shooting mechanics, which they were very, very much like The Last of Us.
They've been highly improved, right? It does seem like
that's not a bad thing that they're like The Last of Us, though.
No, it seems very good.
Yeah, pretty much like The Last of Us. So you're going to be having lots of different shooting mechanics coming in there, and obviously you got like the hit markers and stuff, which all look very, very good. And then obviously as well you've got the idea when you're walking into that kind of grassy area where all the enemies were, and you've got like, it was like almost like open world, which obviously isn't open world, it's still linear, but like you've got the idea of those cover spots that were in such like diverse areas of the kind of map, I suppose, which you were able to cover. And obviously there was the whole foliage thing where you could go underneath, and like the enemies couldn't see Drake and all that kind of stuff, and it was almost like an open world kind of shooter game, which it wasn't meant to be, but it looked like that. And I just wonder if that's going to be kind of put into the rest of the game. And then obviously at the end you kind of moves through more kind of jumping mechanics, and then eventually he gets to well, he climbs up and he sees his brother.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Ghost, your reactions.
I couldn't have asked for anything more, really. Let's be honest. We all knew before the event we were definitely going to see Uncharted 4, and that was regardless of what was going on Twitter beforehand, because they said in the Game Awards you're going to see more Uncharted 4 at that PlayStation Experience. So it wasn't a question of whether we'd see it, it's a question of how much we'd see it, and this was completely not what I was expecting. 15-16 minutes of pure gameplay is exactly what we've been waiting for forever. Like, since Uncharted was revealed, we've been waiting for gameplay for ages, and now it's finally come. And it's really interesting to see the changes that they've made. The graphics look immense, even on the stream, obviously you couldn't see it full 1080p 60 frames per second, but the textures you could see were clearly improved. It looked so much more fluid. That was the biggest thing that impressed me. How everything that Drake does, from the climbing to when he actually jumps off like one ledge to take down somebody on another ledge, things like that haven't been in other games. That was so fluid and so crisp. That was the sort of things that impressed me about it.
Okay.
And as Oscar said, the open space was really impressive too, so I hope that the whole game's like that too.
Yeah, that would be great for sure. It does seem like a huge improvement, because like, it makes it all a little less linear. While it still is a linear game, just being able to have a lot of options and what you can do, I think that's definitely great, and something that probably the new hardware and stuff allows them to do, I would say. And you, Callum?
Well, obviously happy that I've finally got something to look forward. Well, I've still had something to look forward to, but now I've got an idea of what I'm going to be playing and what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Like, I think the new. I think what some of that caught my eye was that the climbing seemed a lot more kind of realistic, I guess. So it wasn't like you were leaping from one edge to another. So look at the multiplayer in Uncharted 3, you were leaping literally just I don't know,
like Superman.
Yeah, exactly. You were just like Superman and up the wall. But then now it seems a lot more fluid.
More natural, right?
Yeah, like a more natural state to climb. I think the new combat mechanics look great. So the hand-to-hand combat I thought was brilliant. Like the way I think he was forced up against the wall, and then from there it was good. The new gun mechanics I think are alright. Like the way it does look like The Last of Us, I think but they're just following on with that because they know how much of a success that game was, and I think the way that they've integrated that into Uncharted 4 is going to be a big success.
Yeah.
There was a slight problem, let's say.
Yeah, let's get to that quickly. There were actually two standout moments, I would say. The first standout moment obviously was a standout moment you wouldn't want to have, and that was that Nathan Drake pretty much fell through the map. He fell to his death. It was actual live gameplay. It was not pre-recorded or anything. Bruce Straley was playing it right there, and I saw afterwards he actually tweeted about it and said, "Oops, I didn't mean to press the fall down button. I meant to press the jump up button." But that's what you get when you're playing a live gameplay demo. I thought it was, you know, I mean, people can complain what they want about it. I think it's something you just, you know, should forget. And yeah, it's a shame that happened and stuff, and he fell through the map. But obviously, it's all work in progress, right?
It's something that it's just going to happen during something like that. You can't expect everything to go perfect.
No,
first
exactly.
Time around, can you?
Yeah.
I always thought they were pre-recorded, those things, though.
Like, I thought so too. I didn't think they would take the risk.
That it was live captured, didn't it?
They had one in E3 where they said it was live capture. I think it was a Drive Club, and like the moves, like the lines seemed like perfect and everything. And I was like, this can't be live gameplay, but yeah. I guess it is actually more often than not. But
yeah, I would say you wouldn't want to take the risk to like have something like that happen. You know, that's just that's bad, and you see it right now. But still, I think, you know, just the way the game looked so impressive is what ultimately stays by, right? It's not that he fell through the map. But then the other standout moment is that Nathan Drake actually seems to have a brother. So the game, or the gameplay demo, actually, I should say, ended with a part where Nathan Drake climbed up and saw a new character there who was talking to him, and we kind of figured right now that he's voiced by Troy Baker, who plays Joel in The Last of Us, and so many other characters actually. So to see Troy Baker and
Nolan North
together,
though, pretty much.
Yeah, like Nolan North and Troy Baker, like they're pretty much in every game anyway.
It's like the most generic cast now.
Weren't they both in like Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor as well? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could see it was going to be Troy Baker after like Todd Stashwick left the project and went with like Amy Hennig to Fiscal to do that Star Wars project. I mean, I just think it was kind of obvious, really. His character fitted it. Like, you know, it was the idea of like Troy kind of being already good friends with like Naughty Dog. It was kind of obvious to me, really. Yeah. I know for sure that that's the character. It's like the guy who we saw in the reveal trailer, or heard in the reveal trailer, I should say, who was voiced by Todd Stashwick. It seems like this is that person, and of course Todd Stashwick left the project, so Troy Baker is replacing him. And you know, we said this together, Oscar, like we'd always expected this because they kind of like kept it secret, and you know, like we never heard who would replace Todd Stashwick, and it seemed like an obvious fit that Troy Baker would, because they had already worked together, you know, on The Last of Us and stuff. So yeah, I mean, what I will say about it is that actually something I noticed is that I think, well, first of all, the YouTube video that's up right now is not in 60 frames, so that's kind of telling something. Like, they said they would be aiming for 60 frames per second, but it's quite, you know, I just noticed how it was in 60 frames on YouTube. So does that mean that they, I don't know, like, of course it's work in progress, right? And you can't say that they won't be able to achieve that, but that's just something I noticed. But at the same time, you know, we talked about how it was actually a demo that it's not like it had that many impressive things in it in terms of the set pieces or anything, right? It was just him going through a cave, some normal, you know, normal combat section, climbing on stuff, jumping. It wasn't the plane crash that we saw in like at Gamescom for Uncharted 3. It wasn't the sinking ship that we saw at E3.
Yeah, but we still don't know if something like that's going to happen later on.
It definitely
maybe
will.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's Uncharted. You can kind of expect something like that. But like you said, it's a work in progress. They've got till what, like fall next year?
Yeah.
So they've got like almost an entire year to fix out the kinks and things.
But I also think what it is that last time with Uncharted 3 they revealed so much. You already saw the chateau, the plane and the boat beforehand, and those were hands down the three biggest set pieces in the game. So that kind of ruined the surprise for a lot of people, and they said that themselves. So I think that's really what they're trying to do here. Don't go, you know, don't go all out with an epic part really that shows you what they really can do. But still, at the same time, we got a good impression of what the game is like, and I think that's what is most important. And nonetheless, it was very impressive because of the graphics and, you know, just the way the game looked and played. Yeah, definitely amazing. So I guess we kind of actually already discussed pretty much everything. But is there anything you want to add to that?
Nope.
I want to add the Dutch.
I figured
it was the small things, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was small improvements that impressed me. But yeah.
It's like the tall grass waving with the wind, and it's the you know, the
And
little
when
details.
When
Yeah.
he's in cover, like somebody's shooting at him, there's like dust on when they shoot the rocks.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
really
no,
impressed
did you see that there he was behind some wooden cut, like I think it was a fallen tree, and that was starting to fall apart when he was being shot at. I think that's kind of like a good way to look at things. Like it's a real environment within the game.
Yeah, and
so
it's
they're
muddy
like trying to stay
clothes.
true to yeah.
And also the in-game face model, because
Yeah.
And actually also one final thing I noticed at the end when you see his brother, is that I think that was actually supposed to be a cutscene, and that it just transitions over into a cutscene seamlessly without you even noticing it.
Yeah.
And that's what they do with the Order as well right now, I think. So yeah, it seems like that's happening here.
Well, I mean,
too.
in like Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, you had the kind of like action sequences, I suppose, and then it kind of like cut to
black.
Cut to black.
yeah,
yeah,
cut
and
to
then
like black or
fade,
something.
yeah,
Yeah. So like you almost seemed like you were kind of being, I suppose, discontinued from the story, I suppose,
Yeah.
like because it's like a fade to black. It's almost like you realising you're still in the game rather than like watching the movie or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I was just like saying like how like the game because it cut straight from like Drake kind of jumping up the wall straight to like where he met his brother. It just seemed like a lot more fluent, like from like going from gameplay to cutscenes or whatever. So that was something that's pretty cool, I suppose. But then another thing I was just thinking about suddenly, like I had some feeling especially when I just watched the trailer back. If you think about the end, like it kind of moves up from the ground and it goes through like the forest trees and everything, and like you can see like the village. And I don't know if you guys saw that or whatever, but yeah, like you saw the village. But I was just thinking maybe it's like an Uncharted 2 kind of moment. You know, like it starts in like the middle of the game.
That would be very impressive.
Yeah, like because like I just think it makes more sense. Like I don't know what it is about it, but it
Because-
just needs to make more sense.
You wouldn't just be like straight up introduced in like to his brother, would you? You'd have to figure out like how they kind of like got back together, I guess, because
I always thought that the original teaser was the beginning of the game. Because that was exactly the same as Uncharted 2, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, true.
Uncharted 2 actually was debuted as well with the first part, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, but nonetheless was very impressive. Definitely our most anticipated game for now. We all can't wait to play it pretty much, and of course we would like to know your thoughts in the comments. So let us know what you thought about the reveal, the gameplay reveal of Uncharted 4 Thieves, and yeah, we thought it was amazing. So I can speak for myself when I say that I just absolutely cannot wait to play this, and I think the same counts for all of you.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait.
Yeah, okay, good. So let us know that in the comments, and then for now we'd like to thank you a lot for watching and hope to see you again next time.